Welcome to my presentation on my Capstone Experience, or my journey to master the National Educational Technology Standards for Teachers. In the Capstone Intro course, I defined my goals for my Capstone Experience in a post for my online journal. My first goal for the course was to develop the skills I need to teach today's students. I wanted my Capstone Experience to help me better understand the needs of my students and discover methods I could use to fully engage them. My second goal was related to my new role as a part-time instructional technology resource teacher. In this role, I wanted to ensure that teachers were able to incorporate technology into their work in a meaningful way by clearly connecting its use to specific educational goals. I felt like this was something the Capstone certification would certainly help me learn to do. In the intro course, I learned several things that would influence the rest of my Capstone experience. First, I learned that students' use of technology outside of the classroom was quite different from their use of it in class. I think this is an important realization for classroom teachers to have if they are going to make effective use of technology as an instructional tool. Second, I learned that the effective use of technology was not simply using technology as a way to do old things in a new way. In reviewing my own practices, I discovered that I frequently use technology in this way. In the course, it was going to be important for me to search for ways to use technology to do new things. Finally, I learned that today's technology has given students many ways to become content creators, and to fully engage them, I needed to provide them with opportunities to take charge of what they were learning. This idea had a huge impact on both of my exhibit lessons. My Capstone 1 exhibit lesson was designed with 3 goals in mind. I wanted students to work collaboratively, I wanted to provide some student choice in completing the project, and I wanted students to engage in a process of content creation. This is an example of one of the word portraits produced by my students. At first, I wasn't 100% sure how well the project would allow me to assess student understanding, but after reviewing the final products, I could clearly see variations in student comprehension. In fact, the depth of student understanding was obvious and easily assessed. There were several highlights from my Capstone 1 experience. One of the most important was joining the world of social bookmarking by setting up an account at Digo. Now I can't imagine how I live without it. I also learned how technology can allow me to personalize learning for students, and as a result, I incorporated student choice into my exhibit lesson. My Capstone 2 exhibit lesson also came from the unit on religious wars. This time for my exhibit lesson, I had students create a video interview of one of the leaders from the era. Like my Capstone 1 exhibit, I wanted to have students work collaboratively, and I felt like this project gave them an even more authentic opportunity to become content creators. Here's a brief clip of a student video.
A lot of power in the country. Why is it that only after the deaths your power grew? All the remaining heirs were too young to rule the country, so I took control by voicing my own opinions and urging the young and impressionable heirs. We couldn't have a preteen rule, could we?
That would have been a disaster. Well, disaster was expected anyways.
You can't be a powerful ruler without having some enemies.
I understand.
My focus for this project was on the content of the interview rather than the quality of the video itself, and the project allowed the students to demonstrate their mastery of content. There were many highlights of my Capstone 2 experience, but I think having the opportunity to reflect on my own practices was an important one for me. I rarely have an opportunity for meaningful and intentional reflection, so this experience reminded me how important it is to make time for it. I also convinced myself that I'm qualified to teach other teachers about instructional technology. Each session, while working on the portfolio tasks, there would be at least 1 or 2 of them that I was just sure I would be unable to produce the evidence I needed to demonstrate my proficiency. Completing this portfolio helped me to realize that I demonstrate most of these standards in my daily practice without recognizing it. Reflecting back on my Capstone experience, I realize that I've accomplished both of the goals I set at the outset, but I also recognize that I've gained much more from this journey. Most importantly, I think I've discovered what the true intent of the standards are, and it has to do with a lot more than just technology use. I have learned more than just how to use technology effectively to meet specific learning goals. Thanks to my Capstone experience, I understand what it takes to meet the needs of today's students and what it will take to meet the needs of tomorrow's. Thanks for taking the time to watch my journey.